OMG.
I thought he was dead.
This unfortunate fellow somehow ended up on the roof of someone's home after crashing his truck. It must have hurt, but still, it looks a lot safer up there than in the cabin of the pickup, which is engulfed in flames. The incident happened in Michigan on September 7, 2024. 3 people were inside the house at the time of the crash but were uninjured. The ejected driver was taken to the hospital but was reported to be in stable condition.
Oh my God. Go, yalla. There's no way this guy's doing it. Oh no. What the fuck is that? Cody.
TikTok pranks and heavy quotation marks have gotten wildly out of control. In March 2005, a prankster in the UK was filmed throwing furniture from the top floor of a shopping mall. It narrowly missed people walking on the ground floor and could have well killed someone or caused serious injury had it hit them.
I'm good.
The prankster is yet to be identified or face justice at the time of this recording. But what do you think the punishment should be? It's a common sight to see people staring at their phones and not paying attention to the world around them. But being addicted to your phone can be extremely dangerous. In Argentina, CCTV captured a man who was glued to his screen while walking across railway tracks. He was completely blind to the approaching train, but thankfully managed to jump back at the very last second. The close encounter might have knocked some sense into him, or maybe he's just trying to protect his phone. This man tried stopping an automated gate so that a truck could pass through. Unfortunately for him, the gate was far too good at its job. I'm sure, given the chance again, he'd rather wait for the gate to reopen than have his hand crushed by it. Too late now, though. On October 12, 2022, brothers Nicholas and Nathan Butcher left their parents' house and headed to Bleacher's Bar in Bristol, Connecticut. While at the bar, Nicholas got into a fight when a guy put his arm around him, to which Nicholas responded by elbowing the man in the face. A fight then spilled into the parking lot and police were called. By the time officers showed up, the Butcher brothers were peeling out of the lot in a white pickup truck. Officer Harrison Pollock stopped them down the road where he found Nathan Butcher driving with a suspended license.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
Sit back in the truck.
I'm going to talk with my brother and yourself.
You're not listening, and you're making the situation much worse. You can stand right here. You're going to stay right here.
I do.
If you move, you are going to be placed under arrest for interfering with an investigation, okay? Stay right here.
100%. No, he's fine.
Chill out, Nick.
They let 7 months be cops. Mr. McKenzie, K9 unit.
They let large pieces of what do you do?
Don't worry about what the I do.
Liner filler.
I make a ton more money than you do, baby
you do.
boy. I got a job that makes money, not a fucking Bristol police officer.
Go
Lick your dog. Go lick your dog.
Get back in your truck. No, yeah. See him alone. Get back in your truck.
I really want to hurt you right now. So back up.
Man.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Tell him to get in the passenger seat, buddy. Tell him to get in the passenger seat, please.
Like I won't.
He doesn't
shoot
listen
from
to me.
800 yards.
800 yards. Stop.
Yeah.
Passenger seat. Please.
No, we're not going anywhere.
Let's wait in our car.
They are lying.
So we can't sit right here?
Sit in the truck.
Get in the truck. Can we sit in the truck?
Sit in the truck. The car is going to get towed.
But let's
and we are going to walk away.
Can we sit in it?
No, I'm not sitting.
Nick, he said we could.
The truck was towed, causing the brothers to enter full-on rage mode, cussing out the officers to the point where they earned themselves tickets for disturbing the peace. Their mom had come to pick the brothers up, because nothing says tough guy like calling mommy for a ride. But then, things took a truly horrifying turn. Once home, Nicholas geared up in camo, grabbed his guns, and lured officers to his house with a fake 911 call.
Bristol 911, what's the address of the emergency?
It is 310 Redstone Hill Road. Your officers had an altercation with a man earlier tonight. And I don't know if he's good.
Yeah, I did. Okay, what's the emergency at 310 Redstone Hill Road?
I don't know. It's just not. It's not good.
Okay. What's your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas. What's your last name?
It's Brutcher. I can't even say if it really is an emergency. I just think that this young man needs some talking to.
What young man?
Nathan.
Nathan what?
Same last name.
Okay, where is he?
He's in the home.
He's at your house at 310 Redstone Hill Road?
Yeah, it's not very good. I mean, nothing violent.
Who is he in relation to you?
My brother.
Your brother. Okay. What's going on?
We got into a altercation with patrol officers earlier on in the night, and he's just carrying on about it. So.
Okay. Where was the altercation?
I couldn't tell you the road. It had to do with stuff from bleachers.
Who else is at the house?
It's just him and myself.
Okay. What's he doing now? I mean, you're saying anybody coming in contact with, you're the only one he's coming in contact with if it's just you two of you. So what's he doing?
I mean, I don't want to fight my brother. He's just being very aggressive towards me at the current time, and I don't want to get him in trouble.
Okay. How old is Nathan?
I also I want to say 25.
Any weapon?
No.
Is he intoxicated right now?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to say, have you been drinking too?
No.
Okay. All right. Listen, we're going to have an officer come over and see you guys, okay?
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sergeant Dustin DeMont, Officer Alex Hamzy, and Officer Alec Lorato responded to the call, and upon arrival at the Brutcher home, they approached the side door of the residence. They saw Nathan inside the house and ordered him to come outside. At that point, Nicholas emerged from a hidden position at a neighboring property and ambushed the officers, firing multiple times with an AR-15 style rifle. All three officers were hit. As the brothers' parents watched on, Nicholas then pulled out a handgun. He proceeded to stand over Sergeant DeMont and Officer Hamzy, firing multiple shots at them while yelling, "How proud are you of me?" Sergeant DeMont and Officer Hamzy would both die from their injuries. Despite also being shot, Officer Alec Lorato managed to escape, circle around, and fire a single shot that instantly killed Nicholas. Officer Lorato recovered from his injuries and later returned to active duty. According to reports, Nathan Butcher, who was also struck by his brother's bullets, told the police that he had taken Xanax that night. The New Britain state's attorney found there was not enough evidence to charge him in connection with the two officers' deaths. Chaos erupted at the NCAA All-Star National Championship in downtown Dallas on March 1st, 2025, when a fight broke out inside the K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center. According to reports, several poles were knocked over during the incident, and the loud noise caused mass panic, triggering a stampede. Attendees rushed to evacuate the building, resulting in 10 people being injured. Fortunately, none of the injuries were life-threatening. The competition was paused for the day but resumed on March 2nd with extra security. Authorities clarified there was no shooting involved, though the situation sparked concerns about security at such large events. Who knew there could be so much drama at cheerleading events? Unless you've watched Bring It On, of course, the movie from the year 2000. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be caught in the eye of a storm, this next clip should give you a good idea. This incredible footage was filmed by meteorologist Brandon Ivey, who drove a tornado intercept vehicle, the TIV-2, into a violent wedge tornado over northern Kansas on May 27, 2013. He's a braver man than I am. I think I'll just stick to watching disaster movies.
You're not going to be able to open that door because the pressure's going to have to get out the window. Hello? They're going under the bridge. They're stuck. The car's about to sink under the bridge. How many of you? Two. A 3-year-old and a mom.
In January 2024, Storm Hank raged across central England. Strong winds and heavy rain put many families in dangerous positions, but none more so than a mother and her 3-year-old daughter who became trapped when their car got stuck under a bridge. Thankfully, a local hero, 28-year-old Liam Stitch, was able to come to the rescue. The roadworks engineer and traffic manager from Birmingham was filmed climbing over the railing and pulling the young girl from the car window.
We entered the water, we cut out. The woman started the car, told us to drop the windows. The car then eventually got to the current, the side of the river. As soon as the car got there, the current took the car, it hit the bridge. At that point then she said, I've got a child in the car. So I acted on that and got the baby out as soon as I could. The car was then moving on every movement that she was making. Then I went to my van, got a ratchet strap, secured the car to the bridge, and then in the process of doing that, got the woman out at the same time.
Liam then secured the car to the bridge using the tools in his van and rescued the mother from the rising floodwater. Good man. On April 13, 2021, just before 1 a.m., officers from Garden City Police Department responded to the report of a domestic disturbance in the 5100 block of North Quinella Street in Garden City, Idaho. Arriving on the scene, the officers are informed that the drunken suspect is inside the house and may require medical attention, having received scratches from the person sitting outside on the front porch.
Hello, Garden City.
Hello. Yep.
All right. What's going on?
He's drunk.
Okay.
And the
Okay. And?
I can't deal with it.
Okay. All right. Is he still inside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is he just drunk? No weapons? No nothing like that?
No.
Are you injured?
No.
Okay. Do you need medical or anything?
No, but I think he does.
Okay.
I scratched him.
All right. Can you move off the porch and you can talk to my partner over here? Is he gonna come?
Hoping to investigate further, an officer knocks on the door and waits for a response. He waits for around a minute, and then, as the suspect in question finally emerges, the situation goes from 1 to 100 in an instant.
Okay. Appreciate that. Hey, sir.
I'll blow your head off.
Whoa, whoa!
The man, who would be later identified as 58-year-old Thomas Andrew Bond, points a gun at the officer and threatens to blow his head off. This elicits a shocked reaction from the officer, who quickly draws his own service weapon and opens fire.
Okay, get him on the side and let's get CPR, get medic.
Hi. Do we have medics code 3?
Yeah, we got medics coming.
All right. Let me get some gloves on.
The suspect is immediately taken down in a hail of bullets. Officers requested paramedics and started life-saving efforts, but Thomas Andrew Bond would later die from his injuries. After an investigation, the killing was deemed to be justified and the officers were cleared of any wrongdoing. In February 2025, the Cabigan Santa Maria Bridge in the Philippines was reopened after having some expensive work done. Unfortunately, the work didn't hold up as a portion of the bridge collapsed when a dump truck carrying boulders drove across it on February 27th. Dashcam footage captured the failure, which left 6 people injured, including a child who remains in critical condition. An investigation is ongoing and the country's president has stated that those found guilty of negligence will face consequences. The annual cheese rolling race is one of the wackiest, most thrilling, and possibly most painful events in England. It takes place every year at Coppers Hill in Gloucestershire. The aim is to be the first one to cross the finish line at the bottom of the hill, hopefully keeping all your limbs intact by the time you reach it. What do you get if you win? A large wheel of double Gloucestershire cheese, weighing about 9 pounds or 4 kilograms. The greatest cheese rolling champion is a guy named Chris Anderson, a British Army veteran who has won the race a record 23 times. According to comments, the best strategy is to stay on your feet, or try to, at least. According to cave diving instructor Ian France, there is nothing better than to go where few, if any, have gone before. Based on this footage, which shows him and his friend Ashley squeezing through tight gaps underwater in England's Peak District, I have to disagree.
I'd say you were absolutely fine coming through there. I'd go past this first junction and then up the other way at the first one on the way in. I'll lead the way, and then when I get to the junction, I'll let you go first.
The pair were forced to use side-mounted oxygen tanks just to navigate the claustrophobic caves in 2018 and had a drill with them just in case they needed to chip away at the rock. They call it exhilarating. I call it terrifying. At around 3 a.m. on June 29, 2020, police officers Arash Zarkishan and Craig Johnson pulled over a man named David Ware in Tulsa, Oklahoma for driving with expired tags. At first, things seemed relatively calm.
Yes, sir. Hey, roll that window all the way down, man. The reason why I stopped you is because turned out right in front of me as I'm coming. And on top of that, you have an expired tag. Yeah.
My tag's not expired. I just haven't got it tagged yet. I just bought the car.
Your paper tag's expired, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I had 2 months.
No.
Okay, well.
You got an ID on you?
Yes.
You said you have a driver's license?
Huh?
You said you have a driver's license?
Yes, I just
okay.
used it.
Well, here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. So
won a jackpot, so they had my license.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about the jackpot right now. So what I need you to do is step out of the vehicle.
For what?
Well, all right.
Dude, I know my rights, dude. Can I just get my ticket and go, dude?
Here's what's gonna happen.
I pulled in front of him. I'm sorry.
Hey, David.
I'm just trying to go to my house, man.
But when the officers ask Ware to step out of his car, Ware flat out refuses. After multiple warnings and orders, the officers try to physically remove Ware from the vehicle. That's when things get violent. Ware starts fighting them off, resisting arrest like his life depends on it. The officers deploy a taser, which doesn't work. They then pepper spray Ware, which still doesn't have the desired effect.
Get out of the car! Get out now! I will spray you again.
Okay.
Get on the ground.
Get on the ground.
Get on the ground now!
Eventually, realizing he can't stay in the car forever, Ware makes a terrible choice. He reaches under the seat, pulls out a handgun, and starts shooting. First, he shoots Officer Zarkishan in the head, immediately dropping the officer to the ground. Then, as Officer Johnson tries to react, Ware shoots him multiple times too. Chillingly, as both officers are down, Ware then walks up to Johnson and shoots him once more in the head. After executing his attack, Ware fled the scene with help from his friend Matthew Hall, who picked him up and drove him away. A massive manhunt was launched, and by the next day, police found Ware hiding out and arrested him alongside Hall. Tragically, Officer Johnson died from his injuries, while Officer Zarkishan somehow survived but had to go through a long and painful recovery process. In 2023, Ware was sentenced to death for the murder of Officer Johnson and got a life sentence for attempting to kill Officer Zarkishan. Meanwhile, Hall got 24 years in prison for being Ware's getaway driver, which was later reduced to 12 years after one of 2 charges was dropped. A dog in India had the ride of its life when it managed to sneak onto a carnival attraction without buying a ticket. In truth, it didn't so much sneak on as it just walked straight past the lack of security. Luckily, the poor pooch wasn't harmed by the big metal machine. He may have been a bit dizzy, but who knows? Maybe he enjoyed it.
Holy! Hi.
Camping in the great outdoors can make you feel alive. Being almost hit by a giant boulder, on the other hand, can make you appreciate life even more and make you think twice about where you pitch your tent in the future.
Holy! Hi. Holy! Hey! You got saved by this.
These adventurers were lucky to escape unharmed. Are you the type to investigate when things go bump in the night? How about a massive crash on your front lawn? According to the uploader of the video, this incident happened at 12:30 a.m. on Valentine's Day 2025. They raced outside after hearing a horrific sound and saw that their mailbox had gone, their sprinklers were broken, and their daughter's car had been pushed into the neighbor's roses. Oh, and there was now an allegedly drunk driver and another crashed car in the driveway.
Oh my God! Call Dad! Call Dad! Oh my God! Dude!
The poster claims the only injury was to their feet after stepping on broken glass. Ouch. Window washing can be a dangerous profession, especially if you work in New York City, and even more so if your rigging comes loose. 2 window washers were left dangling 700 feet above Manhattan on February 28, 2025, and they hung on for dear life as high winds sent them spiraling out of control. The scaffolding smashed into apartment windows and sent glass shattering to the ground below.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing, the fact that they weren't tied off.
Thankfully, no one was injured, and both workers were rescued less than 20 minutes after their ordeal began. On June 23, 2018, police officers were called to a disturbance in San Diego's College area. For 20 minutes, officers knocked on the door of the property but failed to get a response. When they noticed smoke coming from inside, they forced entry. As soon as the door was breached, 28-year-old Joseph Darwish began shooting, striking one officer in the shoulder and knocking him to the ground.
We need a unit with a ladder for an extraction. Hey, give me the look! Get back here!
And you second guess, should I have gone back and, helped with that? The actions we took, the flight mode saved our lives, the firefighters. And the actions the police department took saved many lives. Call it a near-death experience for many of us. Certainly the 2 police officers that were shot, by the grace of God, were all alive, and incredible work by the police department. It was not a normal day, but we're talking about it now instead of mourning a loss.
An intense firefight ensued as officers desperately tried to evacuate their colleague while also trying to take down the suspect. However, Darwish, who had a history of mental illness, ended the shootout by taking his own life. It's not just humans who do crazy things. This horse decided to play a game of chicken on the train tracks and narrowly avoided becoming a horse meat sandwich. The train's passengers can sense the danger as another train comes hurtling towards them in the opposite direction. But as it approaches, the horse casually gallops between the two and doesn't even break its stride. Maybe it's running late for a meeting, or maybe it works for the Pony Express. Either way, it's probably more reliable than the trains where I live.
What are you doing?
As regular viewers will know, videos filmed at railroad crossings all too often end in disaster. This guy almost filmed another tragedy when he spotted a man on a quad bike ignoring the barriers, the bells and big flashing red lights, and narrowly missing the oncoming train. The fact he put the dog in danger is what makes the clip even more infuriating. Could he not have waited 30 more seconds to cross? Sports fans have some crazy rituals, and some are willing to go the extra mile to see their team win. This woman was spotted doing some voodoo in the stands, attempting to put a hex on the opposition. To her credit, her team won, but it seems a little too evil for a football game. Plus, what happens when the opponents start using voodoo as well?
All the money upstairs. Right now. Right
On February 28, 2025, a man attempted to rob a juice store in Ypsilanti near Detroit.
Hey, put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it, I'm letting you know. Put it back. I'm the owner. Put it back. You're the owner? Yeah, put it back. Put it back. Put the money back. All right. Put it back. All right, well, let me go. Okay, put it back. Put it back.
Yeah, put it back. I'll put it back. Leave it alone.
He succeeds in getting money from the register, but before he can put the bills in his pocket, a good Samaritan enters and demands that he give it all back. The robber doesn't part with the cash easily, but the hero has a tighter grip on him than he does the money.
Don't hit me, dog. Don't do it, dog. Here, I'll put it back. I'll put it back. Leave it alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Oh, shit. She broke my foot. Put it back. All right. Put it down. I will. Put the money down. Let me go. Let me go. Let me fucking go, bro.
The action was caught from multiple angles, and at one point, we see the thief's gun, which is possibly fake, fall to the floor. There was no easy money for the thief on this day. I hope the hero gets a free juice or something. This next thief had terrible timing, and his robbery was interrupted by the exact person he didn't want to see. On January 17, 2024, an armed robber hit a 7-Eleven in West Covina, California. After flashing the gun in his waistband, he orders the clerk to fill up a plastic bag with cash. But then, with the money in hand and mere meters from the exit, in walks a regular customer who just so happens to be a cop.
So I saw the subject in there, and at first I really didn't think anything. I saw the gloves, I saw the ski mask, and given that night it was a little chilly, so I figured, okay.
Sergeant Abel Hernandez had just stopped by for some water when he witnessed the thievery taking place. It took him a second to cotton on to what was happening, but when he did, it took just a few more seconds to take down the criminal.
To me, it seemed slow, even though I looked at the video and it seemed like I took off pretty quick. Everything sort of slows down, but I mean, I was able to catch him 15, 20 feet right outside the doors of the store.
Officers later recovered around $400 and a loaded handgun from the would-be thief. This has to be the quickest, albeit luckiest response time I've ever seen. Another thief was met with instant justice on the streets of Brazil on January 11, 2025. CCTV captured this epic takedown of a bag snatcher. Watch as the man in a green shirt spots the thief and prepares for action. He greets him with an almighty body slam and then locks him in an armbar until he gives up the goods. If this guy didn't have a wrestling career before, he should totally think about starting one. On October 27, 2024, in Oklahoma City, a routine traffic stop escalated dramatically when Sergeant Joseph Gibson confronted a 71-year-old man named Lich Vu.
The way that your vehicle was located, I'll have to write you a ticket for improper U-turn. Whenever you complete a U-turn,
I didn't U-turn.
Hold on. Whenever you complete a U-turn, you're supposed to be as far to that corner as possible. Okay?
Yes, they have another car in front of her. That's why, I cannot parking behind her.
Okay. Well, you are required to go as far away you're not supposed to be between any cars. You're supposed to be against that curb line. Okay?
Following a minor vehicle collision, Vu alleged that he had been hit by a female driver. When Sergeant Gibson issued Vu a ticket for an improper U-turn, Vu refused to sign it, leading to a heated exchange with the officer.
Okay. Whenever you make a U-turn,
I didn't make a U-turn.
Sorry. Let me clarify, okay?
Yeah.
Whenever you enter a little intersection thing like that, you are not allowed to go side by side next to a car. Okay? You have to go behind vehicles.
Hey, you are the police.
Yes.
So you know.
Okay.
How many cars?
We are done, sir. No, we're done arguing about this, okay?
I don't think so.
We are not arguing about this, okay?
I want to show you.
We argue in court. We argue in court.
You take the phone and
we argue in court.
No,
we don't argue on the side of the road. We argue in court. Yes, that's how it works. Because if not, if you don't sign this, you go to jail. Okay?
Yeah,
I don't want to take you to jail.
I'm ready to go to jail.
You ready to go to jail?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay, that involves impounding your car too. Okay.
My husband, we stay here waiting for go to here. We're not U-turn.
Okay, it doesn't matter about a U-turn or whatever. That lane,
and I heard she hit us.
I understand that, but you're not. You see where that car's at? Whenever you enter that area, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to leave any space at all. You're not supposed to leave any space at all.
You see that two car?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I am the top
The way
car.
where your vehicle was located, your vehicle was not like that.
Sit up.
No.
You sit up.
During the argument, Vu can be seen lightly tapping Gibson's chest and telling him to shut up. In response, Gibson grabs Vu's arm, twists it, and forcefully throws him to the ground. This is said to have resulted in serious injuries that required Vu to be hospitalized. The Vietnamese American community expressed outrage over the incident, calling for justice and accountability. Oklahoma County District Attorney filed charges of aggravated assault and battery against the officer, citing excessive use of force. Sergeant Gibson was placed on administrative leave pending an investigation, but in a surprising, or perhaps unsurprising turn, the charges were later dismissed. Oklahoma's Attorney General stated that the officer did not act with criminal intent and followed his training. I look forward to reading your thoughts about that in the comments.
Ooh.
I think I found the answer to how someone gets glass stuck in their eye. This guy chose to light a firework in a glass jar filled with water. It went about as well as you'd expect.
Ooh.
Am I bleeding?
No.
No.
The cops in South Africa don't fool around, and neither should you, especially when you're behind the wheel of a car. This irresponsible driver found out the hard way when he attempted to pull off a drift on a public road. His crazy stunt immediately grabs the police's attention, and they are soon in hot pursuit. The driver still thinks he can outrun them, but when another car gets in his way, the fun's over. Officers pounce with their guns drawn, and there'll be no escape from Pretoria for this bad boy. At least this drifter was away from other cars when he tried testing out his skills. Sadly for him, he hadn't quite perfected the art of drifting and ended up upside down and in someone else's lap. Should have worn your seatbelt, buddy.
We got that on the video. Ay, los playones, media luna, papi. La bomba de mi abuelo. Ay.
If you ever find yourself in a place where crocodiles or alligators are present, it's probably best not to swim in murky water. This guy took a risk and went for a dip, not knowing what was lurking beneath the surface. He found out soon enough when he reached down and grabbed an alligator that was dangerously close to his private parts. Maybe there's a reason the other people chose to stay in the boat. Disturbing CCTV footage from Moscow, Russia, captured the moment when a thief robbed an elderly woman at knife point. After kindly asking the man which floor he's going to, the woman remains calm when he pulls out a blade and demands she give him the money in her purse. It's heartbreaking how easily the robbery takes place because she's resigned to her fate and puts up no resistance. Thankfully, according to reports, the 38-year-old thief was later apprehended. It's not known if the 3,000 rubles, approximately $35, he stole was returned to the woman, but hopefully she wasn't too scarred by the ordeal. If an idiot nearly dies toppling a dead tree in a forest and there is no one to film it, does it make a sound? I guess we'll never know, but we do know how close this guy came to having a tree fall on his head. Do not try this at home, and unless you're a lumberjack, leave those trees alone.
Oh, God.
Using your phone while driving is an accident waiting to happen. Ironically, it was when this driver tried to go back to hands-free mode that disaster struck. Stuff goes flying everywhere as he struggles to regain control of the vehicle. Then, a passenger comes flying into view, thrown by the force of the crash. I bet he didn't have many kind words for the driver after that. It's amazing how quickly skyscrapers are built in some countries. Maybe it's the lack of paperwork or safety regulations that allow them to work faster. This worker certainly doesn't have time for such nonsense. He's hundreds of feet in the air without a safety harness or red tape in sight. Let's just hope he has good balance, or he'll be one of the unfortunate worker death statistics that are associated with fast developing countries. In 2022, a 17-year-old tried running away with $18,000 worth of goods from a Louis Vuitton store in Bellevue, Washington. The attempted robbery came after a wave of smash-and-grab heists targeting luxury retailers. This teen needs to work on his exit strategy though, because in attempting to exit the store, he ran headfirst into a plate glass window and knocked himself out. He wasn't named due to his age, so at least he was spared the embarrassment of being named and shamed. Better luck next time, kid. On October 24, 2023, a Sacramento County Patrol deputy had a very bad day at the office. An internal affairs investigation found that Deputy Marvin Morales had confiscated drugs from a suspect he had stopped while on duty. Morales later ingested the same drugs while at the police station, thinking it was meth. However, it turned out to be fentanyl, and Morales had to be revived by a colleague when he was found unconscious in the bathroom. It was determined that Morales had developed a meth addiction after confiscating a pipe while on duty months prior. He had since been using the drug regularly while on duty, but his mistake on October 24th exposed his addiction. Internal investigators recommended Morales be fired on grounds of dishonesty, but the deputy resigned from the force soon after.
Anybody else hungry? Yeah. I'm starving. Yep. Nice. Dead bodies don't make you hungry? So on scenes like this, there's a lot of to do, right? You need to get used to using your backing officers like, hey, I need you to do this. I want you to do tape. I want you to do the incident log. Will you check if there's cameras? I'm going to go check the body, right? Because as the initials, we have to figure out who the fuck he is.
So I can't make out the tattoos at all. Maybe you guys have a little bit more keen eyes. Do you mind taking a look at his tattoos and seeing if you can make them out for me?
Disturbing body cam footage was recently released that shows police officers in Utah using a knife to cut a deceased homeless man. After discovering the body of Jason Floyd in a tent on August 8, 2024, officers could be seen laughing and encouraging a trainee officer to pop multiple blisters on the dead man's arm with a utility knife. The trainee felt he was being pranked and was allegedly told by his seniors to leave details about the knife out of his police report.
Okay, so sun on his stomach, hate left knuckles, says rebel on his right shin. Yeah, right shin. Yeah.
7 officers were placed on leave during an investigation. One of the officers resigned, but the others are now back at work following warnings or 3-day suspensions. No charges have been brought against them, but they have since received additional training on professionalism, decorum, and ethics. In January 2025, stomach-churning footage of food preparation was taken by a delivery driver who attended a dirty restaurant in Florida. It shows workers mixing food with their bare hands on a kitchen floor that had previously been infested with cockroaches. The restaurant in question, China Yan, had been temporarily shut down in 2024 for failing to meet various hygiene standards. As the delivery driver proved, clearly not much has changed since then. Hopefully the restaurant is now closed for good, but if it isn't, and you fancy something to eat, avoid this place like the plague.
Shopping and look at oh man, oh man.
Hey, look, check it out, check it out.
This mother.
See your fine, you can keep that.
Hey, you know, respect that.
Flashing your cash and waving your gun around might seem cool to some people in some places, but in Canada, that kind of behavior simply doesn't fly.
Put your hands up. Walk backwards to the sound of my voice. Do it now. Put your hands up. Back. 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 Stop.
This man tried it, and moments later, he was in handcuffs and sitting in the back of a police car. But I hope he saved enough money to make bail. No one likes a litter bug. When a farmer caught people dumping trash on his land in Essex, England, he gave them a lesson in how experts take out the trash. One of the farmers wrestles a litter bug and chases him off with a piece of wood. Then, out of nowhere, a tractor appears and tips over the offending van, which sends the second litter bug running for the hills. I bet they won't be back in a hurry. On March 4th, 2025, the Serbian parliament descended into chaos as MPs set off smoke grenades, lit flares, and threw tear gas bombs inside the building. Tensions have been rising in the country since a railway station roof collapsed in the city of Novi Sad, killing 15 people. There have also been several protests over alleged government corruption and the passing of new laws since Prime Minister Milos Vucevic resigned in January. This turmoil in the parliamentary chamber resulted in injuries to at least 3 MPs, and one of them suffered a stroke amid the chaos. In summary, things are not going well in Serbia right now. In May 2024, a convict known as The Fly, real name Mohamed Amra, escaped from prison following a horrific jailbreak that left 2 French officers dead. The highly dangerous gangster was freed by 4 gunmen who ambushed a police convoy and executed his captors. Amra had previously been arrested and jailed for everything from robbery to burglary to numerous crimes against individuals. After the brazen escape, The Fly fled France and evaded capture for almost a year. However, his luck finally ran out in February 2025 when he was caught in Bucharest, Romania. On July 24, 1993, 2 MiG-29 fighters collided during an air show in the skies above Gloucestershire, England. One of the planes was filmed tumbling to earth before hitting the ground and exploding in a ball of flames. Amazingly, both pilots managed to eject safely and survived the crash. There were also no injuries on the ground as the wreckage landed in a safe area. On February 18, 2025, a catastrophic incident occurred in the Nyala substation in Pretoria, South Africa. A voltage transformer exploded, leading to a fire that lit up the sky and caused widespread power outages across several eastern suburbs of the city. This footage captured by a nearby resident is eerily beautiful. I wonder what was going through their mind as they filmed it. On February 15, 2025, the MSC Baltic III, a 207-meter-long container ship weighing over 33,000 tons, lost power 12 nautical miles away from the Bay Island of Newfoundland, Canada. Adverse weather conditions, including winds of over 120 kilometers per hour and 6-meter-high waves, meant the vessel was unable to anchor. Instead, it ran aground near the aptly named Wild Cove. Thankfully, all 20 crew members were safely airlifted by a Canadian Coast Guard helicopter shortly after the grounding, with no reported injuries. This terrifying footage shows a Panzer missile system being fired in Smolensk, Russia. According to the uploader, the missile intercepted a Ukrainian drone, but the comments suggest it may have hit an apartment block instead. Either way, it's not something you want to see when looking out of your window at night. In March 2024, a beachgoer called 911 after seeing a drunk couple passed out on the Daytona Beach in Florida.
The lady, I guess her boyfriend gave her like 4 shots and she passed out. And she has 2 little kids. Now they're both passed out and the kids are by themselves.
On its own, this may not have been so bad, but it turns out the couple are parents and had to let their young children wander off.
What's up, guys? Sheriff's Office. Time to wake up. Yep, time to wake up, guys. Hey, the Sheriff's Office, wake up!
The responding officer has trouble waking the couple, but when they finally do arise, their lack of concern is concerning.
Do you guys have children with you?
Where are your kids? Right there.
Thankfully, the missing 5- and 7-year-old were later found at a nearby hotel playing by the pool.
The cops here, so now we both go to jail.
Deputies handcuffed the parents, who were from Georgia, and charged them with child neglect. Hopefully, they learned their lesson and will be much more attentive from now on.